Hello everyone, Josh here, KM7CBE, and today we're out here at the Kartchner Caverns State Park on a very atypically overcast and dreary day here in southeast Arizona. And today we're going to be doing a CW Parks on the Air activation. But notably no drive out and no drone shots today because rather unfortunately, but also understandably, you can't fly a drone in an Arizona state park without permission. So that makes sense to me, at least. What I'm going to do now is go through the process of getting my radio set up, starting with the antenna. And today what I brought out is some, but not all of the components from the tactical Delta loop. So we've got our CHA Micro, which is our matching unit, a ground spike, and one of the 17-foot whips. And then we're also going to use the 25-foot cable from that out of my bag for the counterpoise. And that's how we're going to be operating today because it's minimally invasive and pretty quick and easy for us to set up. So without further ado, let me get some stuff put away here and then we'll get started on setting up that antenna. And that setup should go relatively quickly. Kartchner Caverns is a great place to do POTA activations. The staff here are really nice, and there are covered picnic areas, which is incredibly helpful over here when you're doing these activations. So what I think I'm going to do is come out to about here and put this stake in. There, that should do. So, and that probably was pretty loud. I'll make sure to cut that part out and take the shackle off from our last video. And I forget how long this shackle is. It can be kind of annoying to take out sometimes. And what I'm going to do is drop this piece back into my bag and then get out my coax now, because why not? Take out the radio here as well. And we're going to do this activation just like I did my other one, which is I have my laptop that I'm going to use for logging, and it's also going to be running SDR-control. There we go. That decided to come unfurled in my bag and then proceeded to wrap itself around a whole bunch of stuff in here, which is not helpful. There's the 25-foot cable from the tactical Delta loop that we'll be using as a counterpoise. Coax, counterpoise. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to set out our other components on the table here while I'm in my bag, because why not? And I will need one of my connectors. This is what I call my lightsaber, which is kind of nerdy of me, but basically it's a whole bunch of connectors put together, and this is how I keep track of all my connectors. And so when I need to find a specific one, it's really easy for me to find it in here and then take it out and then just drop it back in. So, yeah, let's see here. Okay, so this setup for the antenna could not be easier. Pretty simple. Whip goes into the end of the matching unit goes onto the ground stake, and then the counterpoise runs off the ground stake. So, like I said, it's a pretty easy, pretty quick setup. And this is one thing I like about the tactical Delta loop, as well as just in general the Chameleon MPass system, is it's all very modular. And this way we don't have to be horribly invasive by putting up giant cables or anything like that. We can just put in a simple ground stake and run up a whip. There. I'm going to turn this way, which actually works well because the PL259 connector is pointing back towards us, which will make connecting the coax really easy. And then the bolt that the counterpoise will connect to is also pointing that direction because the counterpoise will clamp onto the bolt. So that is very helpful. This is the radio end here. Now this is technically a compromised antenna that I'm setting up, which means our efficiency won't be the best in the world, which is why I'm using the counterpoise to help electrically lengthen the antenna. I'm also using a coax that has a toroid on it to help prevent anything from backfeeding to the radio. That is on the antenna side of the cable. What else? And then of course we have our MAT 705 Plus tuner to help us adapt to the fact that we're not going to have a resonant connection or a resonant antenna today. So our antenna efficiency will be negatively impacted, but that's besides the point. So all I got to do is connect the PL259 connector in there, and then I'm going to grab, like I said, this, which we are going to use as our counterpoise. And the way that this normally works, if you had the tactical delta loop, is you would attach this end here, which is like a little loop with a clamp on it. This goes around the end of the antenna, which is the mechanical connection. And then this copper alligator clip also gets clamped to the end of the antenna, and that's your electrical connection. So, but like I said, today, we're gonna be using this as a 25-foot counterpoise. So, all I have to do that is open up the little nut here that's on the ground spike, and then attach the alligator clip to that, and then just run out this cable in any direction. And then just what I'm going to do here is clamp that off to the antenna winder and put it there like that. So there, so we've got a 17-foot whip and a 25-foot counterpoise. So that should work out pretty well. And I'm going to check this camera over here because this is actually going to be what's watching the radio and all that jazz here. I'm going to hopefully get the radio set up right next to it so you guys can watch the radio work pretty much the entire time. So that'll be nice. And today I'm not going to just go for the valid 10 contacts. I'm going to try and go for an hour overall and see how many contacts we can make in that hour. Hopefully we can get 10 in that hour. I think we'll be able to do it. We will see. So just like normal, I've got my MAT 705 tuner, which I have very lazily taken apart. Let's see, I'm gonna tilt this guy up. MAT 705 tuner. So the antenna will run into the antenna end of the tuner. And I'm just gonna set this in the bag down here. And then attach the antenna and attach the tuner command port for the antenna into the side there. And I get a question sometimes of why do I put my tuner in a bag? And that's because I have had issues when the tuner is sitting on metal. I've had issues with that changing the capacitance of the tuner and messing with my SWR values. So that's why I put the tuner in something usually when I'm on something metal. So I need my battery. So we're going to be operating 10 watts today. when operating on a compromised antenna, I usually want as much power as I can get, which for the Icom 705 running on an external power supply, that's 10 watts. So we'll put that guy there. And I just totally hooked that up wrong. This battery has 2 leads on it, and I hooked the male end, which is supposed to go into the radio, into the lead for the battery. So did that wrong. Get that set up. Don't want to lose this, so I'll put this away. And it is quite chilly out here, so I'm actually going to put up my hood a little bit, and I apologize, but adjust my microphone here. Because I am cold. So, like I said, it's turning into a nice day, but this is very unseasonable and atypical. Well, it's seasonal, but atypical weather, I would say. So, okay, put that guy in there, and there we go. We're back to it. So, next thing I need is my CW paddle. So, this is just a paddle that I got off of Amazon. It's a nice sturdy construction. I don't know the company name, to be honest with you, but that's fine. So now, somewhere over here, it's the top one, is where the key goes. So there, that is all set up. We'll get the radio powered on here shortly, and then we will start looking for a spot for us to hang out today on the air. So I'm gonna pull this guy over and aim it down here, and there we go. That's a good enough spot. And the other thing I love about being out here at an actual park is the fact that there are picnic tables. So I have an actual table to work with, which is great. So, laptop. Oh, I do need to do one thing though. I need to turn on my Starlink so I can get internet out here. My cell phone service would work just fine, I'm sure, but because my cell phone is being part of this video, I would prefer if I had another device providing internet, and this thing won't stop. And turn that on. Like I said, it is a little windy out here today, so I do apologize for that. I had to go turn on my Starlink, which is currently suction cupped to my sunroof in the truck, so I can use it while I am mobile. And that's going to take a little bit to start up and to get acquired, which is fine. I'm going to get the radio powered on here, so we can get that configured. Oh, that's so funny. It was picking up it was picking up my VHF stations. That's funny. So connect to that Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi light is on here, which tells us that the radio itself is connected. The only concern that I have is that I'm not hearing anything on HF. So we're going to double check all of our connections real quick. Yep. Okay. Oh, there's some activity down there. It's just really quiet, which is incredibly unusual. We've got a really good SWR match. I'm having a hard time believing that it is this quiet out here. No, I guess it is. That's kind of funny. Scope, span, change this to be slightly more appropriate. And I think we are going to hang out in the 20-meter area today. Let's Let's go down to 140444. That's a good spot, I think. Sounds like there's someone in there already though, so we'll move down to 0.5. And there we go. Okay, I think that should do. You guys do not know how cold I am right now. It's very chilly. So chilly, in fact, that I might put up my, I'm still trying to figure this out, obviously. Hello. Okay. It is very busy here today, which I'm not complaining about. WRL. So we have a pretty close match for 1-to-1 on the SWR, which is good. I'm just finding it so hard to believe that it is this quiet out here. Because it's not like we're very far from civilization at all. We're in a fairly well-developed state park, and we're still getting some really good SWR matches. But, you know, maybe I shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. So, logbooks. We are going to create a new logbook. And POTA.app. And I have to look on the map where we're actually at because I honestly do not know what the park number is. 1059, okay. Which I always like to have on hand just in case people ask for it, which usually they don't, but you never know. So, and I'm realizing my laptop screen is incredibly dirty. But we're gonna do POTA, US 1059er. Yep. And we're going to save and create this new logbook. And the frequency that I'm going to be on is 140435, 14.04350. And that's already picked up CW, good. My laptop screen is so dirty, it's making it hard to read. And it's also on full brightness already. So the next thing I'm going to do is open up SDR-control, make sure that we can get a good connection to the radio on that. And then once that is done, I will go ahead and get us spotted on the POTA network. And that looks good. Modes, CW decoder. That is open. I'm going to move our logging window off to the side here. Go into POTA and add a spot, which you guys probably can't see this really because my other camera's pointing right at the radio. But 14.04350. And spot. Okay, and we are spotted. I think that's a tuning tone or some QRM. spots. Yep. And good, I'm getting actually, my paddle's getting held in place by the magnets on the bottom because this is a steel table. Make sure my words per minute is set to where I want it to be. It's quite windy out here today too. Okay, so I get that guy, I'm gonna do a quick, yep, that checks out. W7CVI, Russ in Washington, gave us a 559, which is not pretty bad considering we're in Arizona. So I'm gonna log that contact and move on. And I had to turn down my RF gain there again because the guy was coming in too loud and it was distorting. So again, not a bad sign. very cold. I don't even know, what's the temperature out here today? Because I keep complaining about the cold a lot. I don't know. That's a good question. Where's my weather app? Got to put the hood back up because I've got the wind at my back. Let's see if the RBN is spotting us. The RBN is spotting us, so that's good. 18 dB, that's not bad. Oh, I can hear someone in there. Let me see. Da da da. I'm going to turn that back down. Got a K. K6 and IA, I think. Okay, second contact to K6NIA in California, so that's good. We're doing pretty good so far. We're not using the CW decoder to transcode or decode CW nearly as much as my last activation or the activation before that. So again, progress is being made. It's just being made very slowly. Turn this RF gain down to 90 to give me a better shot of catching everyone around that range. Let's try speeding it up. I do need to increase my send speed. Whoa, I just got that wrong. We'll go back down to 16. I am going to set it at 18. There's probably going to be a little more mistakes, but the weird thing about switching send speeds is you can throw yourself off if you switch back and forth too many times. Let's see if the RBN is picking us up and if people are spotting us. I'd really appreciate it if people would spot us. So far, no one is spotting us, but the RBN is picking us up, so that's good. Wow. Like a high heart rate warning. That's funny. I don't want to mess with that. Okay, K1SP in Texas. Oh wait, that's my friend Matt. Well, Matt, you are a gentleman and a scholar, so I appreciate you for spotting me. My paddle is acting up a little bit now. Trying to find the most metal I can plomp this thing on. I have an idea. Is this cable long enough for me to do it, though, is the question. I might have to move over a little bit. I'm going to try sending with my left, because I got a fairly large piece of metal to hold this down over here. Oh, Idaho. Gosh darn it. I do need to slow that down if I'm sending with my left, though. I gotta look up this call sign because I did not get a call sign match. So I'm just going to look you up real quick and make sure you come out to the correct call sign. In Idaho, yep, cool. So we will log that contact. And I'm going to switch back to sending with my right because that was perhaps a horrible experiment. There, that's better. I messed that up. So we're up to 4 contacts today so far. We've got Washington, California, Texas, and Idaho. Gosh darn it. Oh, he's up and down. I've switched over to sending with my left, which is why I just realized that one of my cameras stopped rolling. I switched over to sending to my left, which is why things have been a little rough, but we're up to 4 contacts so far, I believe. I didn't realize that my camera had stopped recording. I don't know why. That was rough. Oh man. Log contact. So now we're up to, I believe, 5? Yeah, 5 contacts. Okay. Gosh darn it. I don't know why that keeps happening. And again, I don't know why that keeps happening, but that camera quits or keeps stopping itself. So I think next time it does that, I'm just going to go with my trusty camera here. And I think we've gone up to 18 because I was missing dits because of how slow I think it was going. Oh, B. Gosh darn it. There we go. That was pretty atrocious on my part. My hands are getting really cold. We're not getting any spots, but we're getting lots of RBN hits, so that's good. So the RBN is keeping us alive, as it were. We are up to 6 contacts so far. All the way over to Indiana. So cool. And log contact. We'll just put it on a loop. Oh man, it is cold. Do I still have my microphone on? Yeah, I do. It's tucked inside my jacket. I guess it's cold too. I was surprised with how quiet it is out here today, given, you know, we're in the middle of a park. I'm gonna have to move here because there's some wandering QRM. I'm gonna move down to 14042 and 0420. And that means I'm gonna have to auto spot myself and QSY for QRN and send. I guess not here. We'll go down to, let's try like 36. 36 even. And QSY, so I need to go to POTA Autospot again. And we're gonna say 036. And QSY and send. Make sure that that made that up there. Yep. Oops, I didn't mean to kick you. There. Let's go back. So we're at 6 contacts. I think today we're only going to make it up to a valid contact or a valid activation because we're already at the 63-minute mark. You can kind of see off behind me that there's actually rain starting to develop in those mountains over there. I'm trying to keep my hands warm while I wait through this part. It's 62 degrees out right now, which isn't really that cold, but by Arizona standards, it's cold. Oh, and here comes some rain blowing in. Oh man. Okay. We're gonna have to move down because there's rain blowing into the shelter here. So move everyone down quickly. Yeah, I might have to call it here, honestly, because there's a lot of rain coming in all of a sudden that I was not expecting. If this rain keeps blowing in the way that it is, then we're not going to be able to do this, obviously, because none of my stuff is waterproof. So. Okay, so let's get you guys set back up here real quick. Rain coming off the mountain is blowing down into the shelter, so that's not good. Generally, we tend to try to avoid that, but the good news is I have this space over here where I can put my paddle now. Hopefully that rain will stop sometime soon. My hands are so cold. Wonder if I'm being picked up by the RBN still or not. Yep, I'm still being picked up by the RBN, so we're still getting out. Move this guy in closer here to my actual laptop. It's getting so cold, my eyes are starting to water from the wind blowing into them. Come on, I only need a few more. I only need 3 more contacts and then we'll be good to go. I'm going to tune up again just to see. Okay. That didn't really help. Let's see. And my tuner did nothing also. So somewhere around here, where's my light? Oh, right there. It's on the front. Okay, there we go. Let's go up to 40 here, 40 even. We're going to QSY to 140400. USY QRN.
I need 3 more contacts.
I heard a K, but I need to turn down the RF gain. Oh, KI5. KI5. Okay, that would be our 8th contact with KI5 GTR in I'm gonna put that at 90. I'm gonna have to like switch to my left hand so my right hand can warm up here soon. Uh-oh. keep typing in 5 and N. Oh. Sorry, but gosh darn it, of course. Sorry about that. I was cut off by a scammer calling my phone right now. That's nice. Okay, so we are on our 11th contact. Oops, that's because we had a couple of back-to-backs there. KI5DS. Let's verify that one while we're at it. KI5DS. Let's see. KI5. Okay, well, the good news is that we are done with our activation, so I am going to take a break here real quick, and then I will follow up with you guys here in a few minutes as we start our teardown. We're back, and I just have to get packed up real quick here, so I'm going to turn you off. I'm going to start with my phone first and then get to the radio because, oh boy. And what I'm actually going to do is, I'm going to stay out here for a little bit longer, guys. So I'm going to say 73 to you now, and I'm going to continue with my POTA activation and try to get up to like 20 contacts. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.